Now, with the rental market reaching crisis levels with low vacancy rates across the nation and housing prices stalling, my first guest has some advice for people making their next property move within the space. Whether it's first-time buyer schemes, equity schemes or investment properties as well, now apparently is a good time to buy, says Mark Errichiello from Master Advocates, and he joins me in the studio now. Mark, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. Now, give us a rundown. What state is the housing market in? I'm hearing all sorts of stories from all sorts of places. Can you give me the definitive, how's it looking?
Yeah, look, definitely with all the hype and there can be some frenzies of do we act, do we not, do we sit on the fence? I think now is actually a fair time to buy if you're looking, especially property's a long-term game. So if it's the right property, right location, right property for you most importantly, then you should be taking action if you can get the right deal together. Certainly had a bit of a softening since the interest rate rise announcement, election promises, lots of debate in the policies and what's coming up after the election. So that slows some things down. But speaking to colleagues in the industry, many sales agents are expecting listings post-election. And lots of buyers getting active, refinancing, getting active, looking at where they want to buy next.
Sort of pulling the arrow back before it launches forward. So what incentives, I suppose, in buyer schemes should people be looking to take advantage of? We obviously heard that the super recently was the big one, but is there anything else we should be looking at?
Yeah, there's already been some schemes active. The first home buyer grants have always been around, or stamp duty incentives, but certainly with policies from the Liberal government, if they're elected, there's the superannuation promises, and then Labor as well, the home shared equity accounts. But I'd be careful with any schemes. Don't buy for tax savings or cash incentives up front. Buy because the property's right for growth long term, not the initial dollar savings or tax benefits. And be careful about the T's and C's. That's one thing they're not very clear on. Especially with the shared equity, it can be good if that's going to get you in the market in the right location. But you've got to be careful about exit strategies. What if things change? What if there's death, disability, divorce, income changes? Look at it like a business transaction or a partnership. And same with the super. Get professional advice.
100%.
Yeah, even advice about what property to buy. You can get many consultants like buyers agents, financial planners, help you choose the right asset, because it can be good. I think it could be good, helping invest in the right property for your super long term, because superannuation funds invest in property and other assets anyway. But if you buy the wrong asset, it can be really detrimental.
Detrimental, 100%. It's sort of a trap for young players out there. So some good lessons there. So do you think the election outcome will have an impact on pricing as well as availability, be it negative or positive, do you think?
Look, I think that end of the market that they're trying to incentivise, the first home buyers, possibly that 600,000 to 800,000 range, could have a little bit of a rush back into the market, get their finance in order. I don't think the interest rates are going to have as much of an impact, or interest rate rise is going to have much of an impact as some are stating it will, because really long term, everyone and banking sector has been quite responsible. Looking that you can service with higher interest rates as well, and others are wanting to make sure that they can get loans now and buy their first home. So I think it's still going to be pretty positive. Good locations, good housing, good areas should hold, and best case scenario, get some growth as migration starts to flood back. Infrastructure
things
improvement.
are open up again. You worry about that rush causing a bit of a bottleneck in the market, or is that not something you're concerned about?
Not so much at the top end, and if anything, it might actually help stabilise a little bit, because we have had a bit of a softening the past month. Might have a bit more of a softening, so it might help things hold. Victoria, things are always in demand.
Yeah, 100%. So where can we find out a bit more about Master Advocates and a bit about what you get up to day to day if people want to get your advice or help a little bit further?
Yeah, so Master Advocates, we're independent buyers agents and vendors advocates and property managers. So our website, it's masteradvocates.com.au. As well, if you're not speaking to us, I'd say find an independent buyers agent if you want to consult. There's national groups like REBAA I'm involved in, and that's REBAA, so rebaa.com.au.
Fantastic.
They're all independent. Independent's the main word.
Awesome. Mark, thank you so much for your time and shedding some light on what's happening in the property market at the moment from what you've seen. So I appreciate your insight and your time.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Mike.